Welcome to TV20 Classic Sports. I'm your host, Christian Patterson. From all-star matchups to championship games, we've reached into the vault to bring back a part of Cleveland history. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy this episode of TV20 Classic Sports.
It all started back in October where kids came, seniors, everyone enjoying the winter season. But yes, it was in the aquatic program in the City of Cleveland Division of Recreation. It was seniors with arthritic exercise, parents and tots in the pool learning how to swim, learn to swim programs and canoeing. But today we have the top 6 swimmers that have gone on in the swim team competition in dual meets to come here today to be crowned city champions. Hi, my name is Tim Wells, and my partner today is the manager of aquatics, Mr. Luther Demery. Luther, tell us some of the rules of today's meet that the children will be following.
Yes, Tim, we have basically 3 or 4 rules they need to be concerned with. First of all is our starts. The starts will be swimmers take your mark. They will hear a blast on the whistle. If they hear 2 blasts, they know they had a false start. We have a recall line here that we would drop. We'll drape across the kid's body that would notify him to stop. Also, we will be looking at the touches and the turns, especially in the areas of the butterfly and the breaststroke. The swimmers are aware they've been swimming for 5 weeks, plus a dual meet. They must touch with 2 hands on both ends of the pool. We will be looking to make sure they have the proper kick. The relay teams will consist of 4 individual swimmers, 1 swimmer from each age bracket. The age brackets are 8 to 10, 11 to 12, 13 to 14, 15 to 17. These kids can swim in any order in that relay team. And the last thing we're concerned with is the team scoring. First place will be 7 points, second place will be 5 points, third place will be 4 points, fourth place will be 3, fifth place 2, and sixth place will be 1 point. Tim, these kids have been practicing basically for 2.5 months for this meet, so we should have an exciting swimming here today.
Okay, as we get ready for the Winter Swim Championships with the City of Cleveland, we're going to start with the national anthem by Miss Altrina Grayson, who is the Assistant Manager of Cultural Affairs.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed as the twilight last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fights over the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, bombs are bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave over the land of the free and the home of the brave.
That's Miss Altrina Grayson with the Cleveland Division of Recreation and Cultural Affairs. As we get ready for today's meet, we're going to start with our first event. It's called the Individual Medley. Luther, can you please tell our viewers a little bit about the individual medley and what we're going to see?
Yeah, well, the medley in the swimming is like the decathlon in track and field. What you will have is basically 4 laps of the swimming pool broke up into quarters apiece. The first quarter will be the butterfly. The second quarter will be the breaststroke, back to the backstroke, and finishing up with the freestyle event, you know, the freestyle race.
This is something new that we're trying, right, Luther?
Right, this is basically our first year for swimming this in competition. It's a very grueling thing. We only have our 15, 17-year-olds doing it at this time. Next year, we will move it down to the 13 and 14 years old age bracket.
Okay, in our first event, the 15-17 individual medley, in lane number 1 from Hamilton Recreation is Desmond White. In lane 2 from Clark Recreation, John Carney. Lane 3 from Estabrook, Matt Elsesser. And in lane 4, Joe Hertzman from Stella Walsh. And in lane 5 from Hamilton, Chester Jackson. And in lane number 6 from Michael Zone, Eddie Rivera. This is the 15-17 boys intermediate medley.
Time is quick. Take your mark.
You know, Tim, the key in this race is to stay close. You want to stay close into the freestyle event, have enough to finish with. As you can see, Matt Elsesser has an excellent stroke for the butterfly. He's in the lead after the first quarter in the pool. Going into the wall, he has about a body lead on Horseman, swimming out of Stella Walsh. Again, the key is to have enough for the finish. Excellent breaststroke, very strong. See how high he rides in the water?
That's Matt Elsesser we're looking at. He's got the lead.
He opened up on that, Tim. He opened to 2 body lengths on everyone else. Matt Elsesser's all the way in. He basically has a third of the pool lead on the field. I believe we will get an excellent time out of this here.
In our preliminary, as our winner in lane number 3, it looks like Matt Elsesser from Estabrook Recreation. And we're going to be hearing a lot about Estabrook Recreation as they have one of the stronger swim teams. Is that right, Luther?
Yes, Estabrook Recreation Center for the years have had basically the premier team in the city. And it all goes back to not only the swim team, but the overall aquatics program that's in this center. It's very hard to start kids swimming when they're 15 and 16 years old.
Okay, we see Matt Elsesser from Estabrook, 6'1", 140. He's an honor roll student at his school. He's also the leader of the swim team from Estabrook. Okay, Luther, we're going to get ready for the girls, 15-17. In lane number 1 from Stella Walsh, Vanessa Leonard. In lane number 2 from Stella Walsh, Mary Crofta. In lane 3 from Estabrook, Suzanne Deck. And in lane number 4, Margaret Elsesser. In lane number 5, Jenny Carnes. And in rounding it out in lane number 6 from Cadell Recreation is Kimberly Lord.
Tim, I believe this here particular race will be a lot tighter. Will be a lot tighter than the boys' race. You can look at these qualifying times, and we basically have a second in between the first and second place finish. So it should come down to the wire between Suzanne Deck and Margaret Elsesser.
And Margaret, any relation to our previous winner?
Yes, it is. That's her brother. You know, and you can tell both of them are very heavy swimmers out of Estabrook. We're off to a good start. And as expected, Margaret Elsesser in lane 3 has taken the lead. But the field will be very close. The times in this particular event are very close. She looks very relaxed on the backstroke. She lays her head back. She looks very, very relaxed. Oh, boo-boo on the turn there. I wondered if they picked that up.
Now, Luther, on the turn when you said there was a mistake made, what was the mistake she made on the turn?
Well, the young swimmers are trying to do the turn that they see in the Olympic Games, and basically you can roll on your stomach, but once you roll, you cannot take another stroke. She rolled, she was too far from the wall to flip, so she had to take another stroke. It depends on whether the finishing judge will pick that up to DQ, and we will find out shortly.
Well, we've said it's going to be close, and it's neck and neck right here. Okay, it was in lane number 4. The Elsessers come up big again. Margaret Elsesser has been signaled over us as the winner of this event, so she matches her brother that just won the previous event. And again, in the preliminary competition to qualify, Margaret didn't have the top time, but today, when the title was on the line, she came through big.
Yes, she did. Yes, she did. And it comes from practicing, Tim.
And we've seen Margaret Elsesser before. She's involved in the synchronized swimmer. She's also an honor roll and perfect attendance. And we've talked about not just swimming, but also education. And you can see that both of them have been honor roll students, and it tells you that they're hardworking, not just on the athletic field, but in the classroom as well.
You know, Margaret and Matt are both summer lifeguards for us. During the summertime, we do not permit our lifeguards to swim competitively for recreation centers, but during the off season, where they're not employed with the city of Cleveland, they are capable of competing. Both of these individuals are lifeguards here at Estabrook Recreation Center, and it's gratifying to see that our lifeguarding staff are competing in recreational swim still.
Okay, well, Luther, we've talked about some of the programs that are open. One of the things was about an exercise program in canoeing. Can you tell us first a little bit about the exercise program?
Right, our exercise program is basically a water aerobics exercise program. It's offered at all 16 of our recreation centers. Basically, we focus on body dynamics, getting the individuals into the water, do some mild aerobic exercises. The water tends to lend to buoyancy. They don't have to worry about their knees being sore the next morning, because the water gives them that buoyancy. And the program basically took off at all 16 recreation centers. And I advise the residents of the city of Cleveland, go by the recreation center and view these programs. You more than likely, you will like to get involved. You get a chance to meet new people. You get a chance to do an activity that is cost effective, it's free, and it's enjoyable.
You know, we think about winter, we never think of the pool season, but we do have the heated indoor pools. And I heard you mention about a canoe program. Can you tell us a little bit about the canoeing?
Right. 2 years ago, we were fortunate enough, through hard work of Dale Alexander, one of the managers in the Division of Recreation, to secure a grant from Ohio's Watercraft Division to buy 10 canoes. And what we do with those canoes in our pool, in the pool areas in the wintertime, and in the spring of the year, we take the kids out on river cruises with them. It's an educational training program. We educate a kid on what the safeties are about a canoe, how to enter a canoe, how to don a life jacket on properly, and also how, if something happens out there in that water with them, how to capsize, how to stay with the canoe. Most people don't realize the canoes have an air pocket. Once it capsizes, you still have enough room to have air to breathe with. So those type of programs that we do offer for basic canoeing. And we have basically 4 canoeing instructors, a certified Red Cross instructor, who teach these courses.
Okay, when we come back, we're going to meet the winners of the individual medley in this year's Winter Swim Championships. Okay, we're back at Estabrook Recreation on the near west side of Cleveland, and there is our 2 city swim champions in the individual medley. First is Matt Elsesser, came in at a time of 1:09. He's from Estabrook Recreation, also their swim leader, as well as sister comes through big also, Margaret Elsesser, came in a time of 1:29. They are our swim champions in the individual medley. Okay, we're going to get ready for our next event, and that's the freestyle event. Luther, what should we look for in the freestyle event?
Well, you know, this is our young group, and what we're looking for here is not so much the speed. Of course, the speed counts, but you got to get a good, long, shallow dive on this. These kids only swim one length of this pool, so if you mess up on a dive, you really don't have that much room to make adjustments to come back with. A good start, good stroke, good transition from the breathing to the glide of the stroke.
Okay, we're going to start out with the beginners. It's in the 8 to 10 age group. In lane number 1 from Thurgood Marshall is William Mathis. In lane 2 from Clark Recreation, it's Tanner Thorne. In lane 3 from Estabrook is Richard Woma. In lane number 4 from Estabrook, Stephen Zopolsky. In lane number 5 from Fairfax is Luddy Woods. And in lane number 6 from Clark, Jeremy Atkins. Those are the top 6 finalists for the boys 8 to 10 freestyle.
Tim, I see we have another young Weimer in this race. If we remember from last summer, the Weimers kind of halfway showed out in the city meet.
See here those names, the Weimers, the Elsessers, outstanding swim families.
We have one false start.
Okay, now Luther, when a false start occurs, what is the rule?
Well, the rule is that if a kid commits 2 false starts, he's disqualified. What we like to do is basically take a few minutes to settle the kid down, let him know to wait for the whistle. Do not try to anticipate the start. We have a good start here. Oh, this is a good race. You have some kids in the middle of this pool that's battling for this particular race. And I believe it's down to the wire. It's close, Tim.
I can see our head timer, Antonio Elmore, is checking watches. This was real close. And we haven't received a signal yet from our head timer, so we will be waiting for the official word. And again, if you just joined, we're at Estabrook Recreation on the near west side of Cleveland for the Winter Swim Championships of the city of Cleveland. There is our winner. I believe it is Richard Wyma. He is from Estabrook Recreation, a student at Blessed Sacrament School.
Rich is a young Weimer. His brother Frank, who swims up in Allegheny County at the Allegheny College, really believes this kid has a great potential to be an Olympian. You know.
We heard from his brother during the summer months about it. He had predicted he was the best in the family. He started out well here today. Okay, our next event is the girls 8 to 10 freestyle. In lane number 1 from Thurgood Marshall, Crystal Mathis. Lane 2 from Stella Walsh, Jennifer Kaprowski. In lane 3 from Thurgood Marshall, Holly Woods. In lane 4, it's the Elsessers again, Elizabeth Elsesser from Estabrook. In lane 5 from Estabrook, Jennifer Noga. And in lane 6 from Estabrook, Kristen Hall.
Tim, we can see Estabrook has qualified 3 swimmers in this event. And as we go through this meet, you're going to have a couple events where Estabrook will have 3 to 4 swimmers in the events.
Okay, it's the girls, 8 to 10.
We have Hollywood. We have Hollywood into the wall.
Okay, Luther, we saw there Holly Woods. Again, she had the best time coming into today's meet when they had to qualify to get here, and she carried that through. Holly Woods, again, is from Thurgood Marshall.
Correct.
There she is, Holly Woods from Thurgood Marshall. She's a 5th grader out of Gordon School, and she also won the freestyle in our summer swim meet.
Hollywood has been with Nick Raines over there, has been coaching this young lady since she was about 5 years old. And you can see that it pays off. She's an excellent swimmer, and for years to come, Tim, they're going to have to deal with this young lady in the pool.
That's great, Luther. Now let's get ready for the 11 and 12 boys freestyle. Again, we see the parents all looking on, cheering their kids on. That's great when we get the parental support behind the kids.
That's what makes these kids as good as they are, because they have that parental support.
Okay, so right now we're going to get ready for the boys 11 and 12 freestyle. And again, Luther, this is a little bit older age group, so they've been here before.
They've been here before. A lot of these kids moved up from the summer meet until they were swimming 10 and under, 8 to 10, 10 and under. These kids have moved up into the age bracket. That means the distance has increased also. Instead of swimming 25s, now they have to swim 50s.
Okay, in lane number 1 will be Ted Friel from Estabrook Recreation. Lane 2, Jay Schneider from Estabrook. Mike Bear in lane number 3 from Estabrook. In lane 4 from Michael Zone is Matt Kurtz. Lane 5 from Alexander Hamilton, Brock Stuball. In lane number 6 from Stella Walsh, Jim Perkowski. Those are our top 6 finalists in the boys 11 and 12 freestyle.
You know, Tim, as we look at Matt Blair, Mike Blair and Matt Kurtz, these two kids have been swimming against each other since about 8 years old. And every year, those two are fighting for first place. Let's see if it happens today.
Take your mark.
The field is pretty tight going into the first leg of the 50 yards. Good turn off the wall. Good flip turn. As I said, those two will battle again.
Right now, our leader we're looking at is in lane number 3, Mike Bear.
Into the wall, Mike has beat him out again. So it holds true.
Well, our winner was Mike Bear from Estabrook Recreation, and he's been involved in the summer meets. Again, we see him here in the Winter Swim Championships. Mike Bear is a 8th grade student at Central Junior High. He also has been one of the finalists here for the last couple of years. He's 5'4", 110. Luther, tell us a little bit more about Mike.
Mike has been around. This is about his 4th or 5th year swimming. The thing that happens with Mike and the young kids from Estabrook, they have a guy like Cesar to give some pointers to him. You know, this summer he was the coach of the Estabrook's team. So he works with these kids quite a bit. But these kids come into the pool 3 or 4 times a week to practice. And that's what it takes to be an accomplished swimmer.
Okay, and our next event will be the girls 11 and 12. In lane number 1 from Estabrook Recreation is Rochelle Shia. In lane number 2 from Estabrook, Janet Verzi. In lane number 3 from Stella Walsh is Jen Malika. In lane number 4 from Clark Recreation, Angela Atkins. In lane number 5 from Alexander Hamilton, Tia Powell. In lane number 6 from Estabrook, Abby Manfredi. Those are the top 6 finalists in the girls 11 and 12 freestyle.
Well, we have the kid here from Stella Walsh. They take their swimming serious over there also. You know, Marty Pizak and Bob Maeve and Bob Toad do a wonderful job with those kids over there at Stella Walsh. And by no means can you sell this team short. We're off to a good start here. Let's see what does come off the wall. Good speed turn off the wall. She didn't flip. She used a regular speed turn, and she did well with it.
Our leader is out of lane 3 from Stella Walsh, Jen Malika.
I think Jan Mulligan won it, but I think the upset is in the 2nd place finish here. I believe the young lady from Clark actually beat out the young lady from Estabrook.
All right, again, we saw here, this is one time that Estabrook didn't step forward. It was Stella Walsh. Jen Malika, there she is. She's a 7th grader from Garfield Middle School. She also swam here in 1991 in the city winter finals. Also, Angela Atkins, that Luther had mentioned, came in the runner-up spot from Clark Recreation. Again, you can see some of the improvement in some of the other recreation center swim teams. Now we're going to take a timeout, and we're going to meet our main sponsor of today's swim meet, Mr. Scotty Beckett from East Ohio Gas. Welcome back to Estabrook Recreation. Again, we just met our main sponsor from East Ohio Gas and how important it is during the winter season to provide the heating. But right now we're getting ready for the boys freestyle 13 to 14. In lane number 1 from Clark Recreation is Mike Belton. In lane 2 from Stella Walsh, Anthony Rinaldi. In lane 3 from Stella Walsh, Kevin Murphy. In lane 4 from Estabrook Recreation, Chris Manfredi. In lane 5 from Stella Walsh, Jason Johnson. And in lane 6 from Hamilton Recreation, Carl Smith. Those are our top 6 finalists in the boys 13 and 14 freestyle.
You know, the competition between Murphy and Manfredi will be pretty.
Lane 1. One false start.
One kid gets a bad dive, a bad turn, it can be an upset.
Okay, we see the swimmers here lining up after the first false start.
Take your mark.
Seem to be a little nervous tension is coming out.
Okay, our official starter today is Mr. Amsey Groves.
I think we just had a DQ in lane number.
In lane number 1, it was Mike Belton out of Clark. Again, Luther had indicated 2 false starts means a disqualification.
A little nervous tension. You do a lot better next time. Boy, this kid looks smooth, looks strong, extremely strong. Tim, this kid, like he might have a motor on the back of him. He's really pumping through this water.
We're looking at Kevin Murphy from Stella Walsh.
Excellent, excellent.
Kevin Murphy captures the crown in the 13-14 boys freestyle. It's the winter swim meet champion, City of Cleveland. He's from Stella Walsh. He's also a 9th grade student at Cleveland Central Catholic.
This kid is strong.
Kevin swam here in 1990, 91, 92. This is his 4th consecutive trip to the finals, and this one he walks away with the title. Kevin Murphy, 9th grader from Cleveland Central Catholic, is our swim champion with the City of Cleveland in the 13-14 boys freestyle.
You know, you just take a look at Murphy's arm stroke and leg stroke, and you can just see the power there. You know, and the kid is absolutely strong. I'd love to see him swim 100 yards and see what he can do with a 100-yard record. I really believe he probably would do a lot better time than some of those 15, 17-year-olds. The kid is strong.
Okay, we're getting ready now for the girls, 13 and 14 freestyle. In lane number 1 from Michael Zone is Sabrina Bosca. In lane number 2 from Stella Walsh, Stacy Zakowski. In lane number 3 from Michael Zone, Sarah Kurtz. In lane number 4 from Stella Walsh, Holly Juntitz. In lane number 5 from Estabrook, Christy Such. And in lane number 6 from Cadell, Jennifer Metzner. Those are our top 6 finalists in the girls freestyle.
You know, the coach from Michael Zone, Dave Kovacs, 2 days ago told me to keep my eye on this girl, Sarah Kurtz.
Okay, we see that the Luther had mentioned that the coach from Michael Zone saying that this could be our city champion. She's lined up in lane number 3, Sarah Kurtz.
Oh my goodness, I understand why now. Boy, she's straight, she's strong. Excellent flip turn off the wall, good push off. The coach is actually right, Tim. She's a very strong swimmer. Third of a pool.
Sarah Kurtz from Michael Zone, coached by Dave Kovacs and Teresa Carl over at Michael Zone Recreation on the near west side. And when they had told our aquatics manager she's something to watch, we saw right there how she easily won the 13-14 girls freestyle.
And let's not leave out Karen Chorbas. Karen Chorbas is the third physical director in that area.
We're looking at Sarah. She is a 8th grade student at St. Ignatius Elementary, merit roll. She's been the most valuable player of the Michael Zone team the past 3 years.
Tim, you might have noticed on the tape she had some tape on her fingers. She hurt her finger in a canoeing exercise class a week ago. It's badly sprung, but she refused not to swim in the swim meet. With a halfway broke finger, she still wins the thing. Excellent swimmer.
Okay, Luther, we're going to get ready for the final age group in the boys 15 to 17 freestyle. In lane number 1 from Estabrook, Pat Noga. In lane number 2 from Clark, John Carney. In lane number 3 from Estabrook, Matt Elsesser. He'll be going after his second medal. In lane 4 from Stella Walsh, Joe Hortzman. In lane 5 from Estabrook, Eric Kolai. And in lane number 6 from Hamilton, Desmond White.
You know, this group here, Tim, this group here is the group that I like. These are my lifeguards. The majority of these kids are going to be summer lifeguards this summer. Elsesser's already won. Horseman's has already won. These other 4 we will have. This is 4 laps of the pools, 100 yards. The key to this is to have enough for the finish. And you want to stay close through 3 laps. Have a good kick and a good arm pull for the final lap. As you can see, Elsesser is very relaxed in the water. He's very smooth. Good breathing technique.
There's the flip turn that you were talking about, Luther, that Matt Elsesser just did.
Right. You know, that's the fastest turn for the freestyle and the backstroke. You can't flip on the butterfly and the breaststroke because you got to touch with 2 hands. But that's the fastest turn for a competitive swimmer.
So the older we go up, the more that the coaches are teaching now kids the flip turn.
Correct. You actually will have some 8 to 10-year-olds who will flip. You know, so they're teaching them at a young age so they can practice this here all the way up. Elsesser.
Matt Elsesser grabs his second medal of today's Winter Swim Championships with the City of Cleveland. Again, Matt is an 11th grader, honor roll, perfect attendance. He also was the leader of the Estabrook swim team, and he won the individual medley earlier today.
You know, Tim, on the situation here, this kid named Desmond White that swims for Alexander Hamilton, I'd like to give some recognition to Robbie Morton out at Alexander Hamilton. She did an extremely excellent job of putting together a swim team this year. A lot of times she had to go and pick these kids up. We know the situation in the streets and whatever. The parents were very leery about the kids walking to the center and getting back home at night. So the center manager gave her permission to leave the center with the van, go pick her kids up, bring them back and practice and whatever. They went from a swim team out there of 7 kids to a team of 22. So Robbie Morton did an excellent job with this team out there.
Okay, in our next event, it's going to be the girls freestyle 15 to 17. In lane number 1 from Stella Walsh is Vanessa Leonard. In lane number 2 from Kavasik, Miranda Maley. In lane number 3 from Estabrook, Suzanne Deck. In lane number 4 from Estabrook, Margaret Elsesser. In lane number 5 from Stella Walsh, Mary Crofta. And in lane number 6 from Stella Walsh, Jenny Carnes. Those are our top 6 finalists in the girls freestyle 15 to 17.
Teammates up in the battle for first place, look like. If they hold true to these times, these 2 teammates will be battling for first place. Good start. We'll see. We're talking 4 laps here. Keep your eye on the middle of the pool. This is the first and second place swimmer in this event. The girls look very relaxed and pacing themselves. They don't want to burn themselves out. They want to have enough for the finish.
Again, we see him coming in here to the wall.
Suzanne Deck and Elsesser are both pacing themselves very well. The The rest of the field is basically keeping pace with them.
Now, Luther, I saw there on the turns that there was two types of turns. I saw a flip turn, and there was another type of turn. Can you tell our viewers about it?
Right. The other turn is what they call a speed turn, and this turn is a very proficient turn. Also, it's not quite as fast as a flip turn, but it gets the job done. You know, some of the kids don't feel good in flipping, so they rather use the speed turn, so they don't mess up on the turn. You know. Oh, we're battling down for first place.
It's 3 and 4. We're looking at them as they come in. And the signals come from lane number 3. It was Suzanne Deck. She edged out Margaret Elsesser, also from Estabrook. Suzanne Deck is from Estabrook Recreation. She also is involved in the synchronized swim program and the water safety, learning water safety skills here at Estabrook.
You know,
she is a 11th grade student at Brooklyn High School. Again, her time of 1:16:30 is what qualified her to get into the meet today.
You know, both of these young ladies are summer lifeguards, and we push the summer lifeguard, Tim, to the hilt.
Okay, well, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to meet our city champions in the freestyle event. Welcome back to Estabrook Recreation, and we're going to get to meet the city champions in the freestyle event. First of all, in the 8 to 10 age group, we're from Estabrook, Richard Wyma. And the girls 8 to 10 from Thurgood Marshall, Holly Woods. In the boys 11 and 12 from Estabrook, Mike Bear. 11 and 12 girl freestyle from Stella Walsh, Jen Melika. 13-14 boys from Stella Walsh, Kevin Murphy. And the 13-14 girls from Michael Zone, Sarah Kurtz. And grabbing his second medal of today's meet from Estabrook Recreation, Matt Elsesser. And rounding it out with the girls champion in the 15-17 from Estabrook, Suzanne Dack. Those are our city champions in the freestyle event. Okay, Luther, we're going to get ready for the next event, which is the breaststroke. Now, what difference will we see between the freestyle and the breaststroke event?
Well, the biggest difference in these two are the arm movements and the leg action. Before, you seen in the freestyle where the arm was actually rotating out the water, stretching forward as far as you can go. You won't see the arms unless you look underneath the surface of the water, because that's where the arms are kept. The legs are like a whip kick, or some people call a frog kick. Freestyle is the flutter kick. The biggest key is that you got to have a two-hand touch with this particular stroke.
Okay, we'll get ready for the breaststroke in the 8 to 10 boys. In lane number 1 will be Josh Verza from Estabrook. In lane number 2 from Thurgood Marshall, William Mathis. In lane 3 from Estabrook, Steven Zapolsky. In lane number 4 from Thurgood Marshall, Bruce Wheeler. In lane number 5 from Stella Walsh, Zoe Stobaka. In lane number 6 from Clark Recreation, Tanner Thorne. Those are our top 6 finalists in the boys breaststroke, ages 8 to 10.
Tim, let's keep in mind, we got to get a good start off of this hill, and this is only one length of the pool. So the dive on this hill is very important. You can see this is our youngest age group, and we have a decent race going here. Good glide, good stroke, and I believe our qualifying time held up for first place. Lane 3
In lane 3 from Estabrook, they're back on the board. It's Steven Sapolsky.
This Estabrook team is terrible.
Oh, there he is. 5th grader from Our Lady of Good Counsel, perfect attendance in school, and the coach gave him credit. He's one of our most dedicated members to the swim team.
You can't say enough about a good coach and a good team effort. This team from Estabrook is dynamite. But you know, Stella Walsh, for a swim team with no pool, this pool was down for reconstruction and renovation. That group over there between Bob Toth, Marty Pizak, and Bob Mave, not to have a pool, went and traveled across the city to various recreation centers to put their team together. They ended up with 27 kids on their swim team, not to have a pool. I think that's a tremendous job done by that staff over there.
Okay, Luther, in the girls, 8 to 10, breaststroke. In lane number 1 from Thurgood Marshall, Holly Woods. She'll be going after her 2nd medal today. In lane number 2 from Cadell Recreation, Michelle Kolosnek. In lane number 3 from Estabrook, Elizabeth Elsesser. In lane number 4 from Estabrook, Jennifer Noga. In lane number 5 from Estabrook, Katie Farron. And in lane number 6 from Stella Walsh, Jennifer Kaprowski.
There we go again with those 3 swimmers from Estabrook in this meet. Estabrook basically placed 21 swimmers in the finals.
Luther, that has to be a record within our winter swim meet, isn't it?
It has to be a record within our winter swim meet. We had 5 of our centers were down for renovation, so we didn't have representation from those centers because the pool was being worked on or whatever. But that's not to take away the excellent job that's done by Estabrook Recreation Center with their kids. We have false start in lane, 2?
Lane number 2.
We got a good start out of this summer. They go to Elsesser, Margaret Elsesser, Elizabeth Elsesser, excuse me.
Okay, the word has come from our head timer, Antonio Maltmore, that our winner comes from lane number 3, Elizabeth Elsesser. Again, you can see the moms and dads looking on. You're looking upon Estabrook Recreation on the near west side of Cleveland. It's the Winter Swim Championships, and our winner in the 8 to 10 girls breaststroke was Elizabeth Elsesser.
Tim, you know, you look at these
There she is. Elizabeth is a 3rd grader, honor roll, perfect attendance, and the coach gave her also credit for the dedicated work that she does during the practices. She's our swim champion in the 8 to 10 girls breaststroke.
You know, Tim, today is a cold day to be doing any swimming. What do we have, about 10 below 0 outside with the wind chill factor?
Well, this is one time I'm glad we're inside, Luther.
But as a credit to these young people, we only had 2 swimmers out of 80 who didn't show for this meet. So that's a credit to the swimmers, to the coaches, and to the parents to have them here. Good job.
I think that it's important, like you mentioned, the parents that get behind them, the coaches. They need that encouragement, and it is a tribute to the young swimmers that we see today for their commitment and dedication to the swim program, and I believe that's why they're here today.
That's why they're here.
Okay, our next event is the boys breaststroke, ages 11 and 12. In lane number 1, from Stella Walsh, Jason Kropowski. In lane number 2, from Michael Zone, Matt Kurtz. In lane number 3, from Estabrook, Mike Bear. In lane number 4, from Estabrook, Jay Schnicker. In lane number 5, from Alexander Hamilton, Maxwell Agnew. And in lane number 6, from Estabrook, Teddy Friel. Those are our top 6 finalists in the boys breaststroke, ages 11 and 12.
Mike Blair is our #1 swimmer in this heat. And he's going for his 2nd medal. It's going to be a toss-up for the outstanding swimmer. race going here. We got 3 or 4 swimmers with all within a half a body length of one another going down to the wall on the first lap. Mike Bear is starting to pull away from the pack. He had a good turn off the wall, strong push.
Okay, now that turn there is the speed turn that you were referring
That's
to.
the speed turn. You know, when you push off this wall, you want to get a good glide out of it. But you don't want to glide so far that you start to slow down before you start stroking. Lane 3.
Okay, it's Estabrook. Mike Bear grabbing another title here today. In lane number 3, the official word has come from our head timer, Antonio Elmore, that it was Mike Bear grabbing again the second title of today's meet in his age group. Boys breaststroke, Mike Bear, there he is, 8th grade student from Central. And the coach gave him credit that he works hard at improving his strokes at the practices, and as Luther had mentioned, that the work and the dedication and commitment is what brought them here today.
Tim, you know, last summer we had, Chris Shockley out of Thurgood Marshall and one of the Weimer kids swum out of Gunning for his brother. I think both of those kids are swimming for St. Ignatius High School this season. I suspect for a lot more of these kids, by the time they reach high school levels, be swimming for some high school. If it's not St. Ignatius, Hawkins, you know, university, some school is going to have these kids, and they're going to have a good product because they get good coaching at an early age.
And that's a tribute to our staff of the physical directors, which we'll be meeting later on in today's meet. Our next event is the girls 11 and 12. In lane number 1 from Clark Recreation is Angela Atkins. In lane number 2 from Estabrook, Abby Manfredi. In lane number 3 from Stella Walsh, Jen Malika. In lane number 4 from Estabrook, Rachel Shia. In lane number 5 from Estabrook, Rachel Boyd. And in lane number 6, it's the Estabrook show, Jeanette Verzi.
What's that, 4 swimmers out of 6 from Estabrook? You know, they was teasing me and said, hey, well, we should have the Estabrook meet instead of the city meet. We have a false start out of lane 2.
Again, that was Abby Manfredi from Estabrook. It's her first false start.
Quiet on the start. Take your mark.
You know, this is a 50-yard breaststroke, and it's basically, you're looking at 2 seconds between the 6th place swimmer and the 1st place swimmer in qualifying times. And if you look at the pool now, you can see that they're all within striking distance of each other.
Again, we're seeing the 2-hand touch that Luther referred to. Looking at lane number 3, our leader right now is from Stella Walsh, Jen Mullica. And the word has come from our head timer that our winner is from lane number 3 from Stella Walsh Recreation, Jen Mullica.
You know, Tim, we looked at this heat, and basically he held true to form. All of these kids were in striking distance of one another. So these qualifying times are not bad at all, and they're very accurate.
Well, we saw there that was Jen Mullica. She's an honor roll student, 7th grader from Garfield Middle School, and she swam here in 1991 and 90 the swim winter championships for the city of Cleveland. Again, congratulations goes out to her. Okay, when we come back, we're going to meet some of the officials for today's meet. Welcome back to Estabrook Recreation Center. It is the city final swim meet. And Luther had mentioned many of the people that have been behind coaching. Well, a lot of them today are working as officials. And we're going to look at our timers first. In lane number 1, you're looking at Arvel Miles. He's from Glenville Recreation. In lane 2, from Sterling Recreation, Alan Amita. And in lane number 3 is Joyce Almeida from Cadell Recreation. Also, we just passed our head timer, Antonio Elmore. And in lane number 4 from Hamilton, Lisa Hutchin. And in lane number 5, our timer is Tom Garcia. He works from Cadell Recreation. And also in lane number 6, who works at Woodland Recreation, Willie Hodge. Those have been the timers that have been giving us the times for today's meet, as well as Luther. I'm sure there are a lot of other people that work as clerk of courts. Valencia Powell from Glenville, Mary Kersey from Estabrook, Barb Toth, who's been presenting the awards, and Teresa Carl, who's been at our head table keeping the scores. And as we look at the scores, these are the scores after the freestyle. Our leader right now with 77 points is Estabrook. And behind them in second place with 44 points is Stella Walsh. And Michael Zone is with 16 and on down. So those are our top 2 teams that lead after the freestyle events. We're now going to go into the boys breaststroke 13 and 14. In lane number 1 from Stella Walsh, Anthony Rinaldi. In lane number 2 from Estabrook, Stephen Noga. In lane number 3 from Estabrook, Chris Manfredi. In lane number 4 from Stella Walsh, it's Kevin Murphy. In lane number 5 from Stella Walsh, it's Jason Johnson. And in lane number 6 from Clark, it's Mike Belton. Those are our top 6 finalists in the 13-14 boys breaststroke.
You know, Tim, you look at these times on this qualifying times, and all these times are close again. So this should be a very close race. We have 3 swimmers at this time who are capable of winning this particular heat. All of them are in arm's distance or a head's length of one another. We have the swimmer in lane 3, Chris Manfred from Estabrook. Lane 3.
In lane number 3, the signal came from our head timer, Antonio Elmore. It was from Estabrook Recreation, Chris Manfreda. There he is, Chris, an 8th grade student. He's at Charles Muni Junior High. Coach told us that he had a positive attitude, he works hard, and he's 14 years old. He comes in as our city champion today.
Tim, if I'm not mistaken, I think this is maybe Chris's second medal also. So this Estabrook team is gonna fight for this Outstanding Swimmers Award. You know, the coach was over here telling me she was expecting to win the city finals, but she wanted to have a sweep. She wanted to have the Outstanding Girl Swimmer and the Outstanding Boy Swimmer. At this point in juncture, she might be on her way there.
Okay, our next event is the girls breaststroke, ages 13 and 14. In lane number 1 from Thurgood Marshall, it's Faith Wheeler. In lane number 2 from Estabrook, Christy Such. In lane number 3 from Stella Walsh, it's Holly Utitz. In lane number 4 from Michael Zone, it's Sarah Kurtz. In lane number 5 from Stella Walsh, Stacy Sikowski. And in lane number 6 from Kavasik Recreation, it's Leanna Austin. Those are our top 6 finalists in the girls breaststroke 13 and 14.
You know, Holly Isley and Sarah Kurtz from Stella Walsh and Estabrook, they're constantly swimming against one another, and those times are real close again. As you can see, the 2 are battling now for first place. I believe Holly Isley from Estabrook Recreation, from Thurgood Marshall Recreation Center, has a slight lead. Going into the wall here, we have a fight for first place. And
it was lane 3 and 4, and we got a signal here, 3-4. That means we're checking times. It was that close. It was lane 3. Holly Utitz from Stella Walsh.
Lane 3.
And she's the one that comes in. It was lane 3 from Stella Walsh. Holly is a 9th grade student at Trinity High School. She also is involved with the Merit Roll student. She's received awards in all kind of educational, religion, math, spelling. And we can see here all the parents. And there is our city champion in 13-14 girls breaststroke, Holly Untitz, and I hope I'm saying that right. She's a 9th grader from Trinity High School.
You know, Tim, that race between Holly and Sarah there from Stella Walsh and Estabrook was real tight. You know, real tight. The judges had to look at those watches and consult with one another to get the winner there. Almost a photo finish.
Again, an outstanding job by our officials today. Our next event is going to be the boys breaststroke, ages 15 to 17. In lane number 1 from Fairfax is Anthony Knight. In lane number 2 from Fairfax, Chester Jackson. In lane number 3 from Estabrook, Matt Eltsesser. He'll be going after his 3rd medal today. In lane number 4 from Estabrook, Pat Noga. In lane number 5 from Stella Walsh, Joe Horchman. And in lane number 6 from Stella Walsh, Camille Stotskoper. Those are our top 6 finalists in the boys breaststroke, 15 to 17.
This is 4 lengths of the pool, 100 yards. You got to be ready to finish up in strong fashion. But I believe this kid, Eltsesser, can swim all 4 lengths the way he's swimming in the first one. So he's a very strong swimmer.
Again, Luther, it looks like it's the Eltsesser show today.
He's a strong swimmer, Tim. This kid would swim 100 yards the same speed he swims 25. Now this is going into this will be 75 yards coming off this wall here. His time probably haven't diminished.
No, Luther, earlier you had mentioned about this age group becoming lifeguards for the city. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Right, the city of Cleveland operates 42 swimming pools for the summer. And basically we hire somewhere in the area between 220 and 240 for summer positions as lifeguards. We do offer lifeguarding courses in all 17 of our recreation centers, first aid and CPR, and this group is our target group. They have the swimming skills to do the course. Eltsesser into the wall, 3/4 of a pool lead on the rest of the field.
So Luther, many of them will become lifeguards for the city, and they'll be teaching the younger kids to learn to swim programs.
That's correct.
What we saw was Matt Eltsesser picking up his 3rd medal today. It's from Estabrook Recreation. Again, before the meet, the coach from Estabrook, Mary Kersey, had come up and said, we're going to definitely see him at the end of the show. And so far, it's been 3 events and 3 titles. There he is, Matt Eltsesser, our city champion in the boys breaststroke, 15 to 17.
Matt deserves this year. This summer he couldn't swim, he was a lifeguard. So he was written into the position of coaching the championship team, which was a great experience for him, and he thoroughly enjoyed it. But I believe he's going to enjoy this even more.
Okay, our final event in the breaststroke is the girls, 15 to 17. In lane number 1 from Stella Walsh, it's Vanessa Leonard. In lane number 2 from Michael Zone, it's Jenny Carnes. In lane number 3 from Estabrook, Margaret Eltsesser. In lane number 4 from Stella Walsh, Mary Crofta. In lane number 5 from Kavasic, Miranda Mail. And in lane number 6, rounding it out from Cadell Recreation, it's Kimberly Lord. Those are our top 6 finalists in the girls' breaststroke, ages 15 to 17.
Tim, looking at these times here, Margaret Eltsesser probably should run away with this particular event. The times are not even close, so I look for her to do extremely well. Maybe half a pool, 3/4 of a pool by the time they finish. Margaret is swimming out of lane 3, right in the middle of your pool. She has an excellent, excellent glide. She gets all she can get out of that particular glide. She's off the wall. Look at the push off the wall. Good push, strong off the wall. She's starting to stretch out now. At the 50, she basically has a fourth of the pool lead on the second place swimmer.
Well, Luther, you can see that Margaret, as well as she has done the whole meet, that the practice that she has put in and the effort is now paying off today.
I think she's a much stronger swimmer as a breaststroke. I believe this seems to be her best event. She's a very strong swimmer as a breaststroke. As we indicated before, we look for her to finish up this year, maybe with a half a pool lead on the second place finisher, maybe 3/4 of a pool lead. She's very strong in the breaststroke. She's comfortable, she's riding the water good, she has an excellent breathing. What more can you say?
There she is, Margaret Elsesser comes in.
3. I like to know what the time is on that, Tim. I like to see if it beats this time here. I bet you it does.
Well, to qualify, it was 1 minute and 30 seconds, and as Luther had indicated, it seemed to be a lot stronger today. But Margaret Elsesser walks away with another title. It's in the girls' breaststroke, 15-17. She's from Estabrook Recreation. Margaret is also involved in the synchronized swim program here at Estabrook, as well as an honor roll and perfect attendance student in school. There is our swim champion, Margaret Elsesser. You know, Luther, we had mentioned earlier about the lifeguarding classes. If there's some viewers that might be interested in getting into some employment during the summer, here's one of the avenues that we have. Can you tell our viewers, if someone is interested in getting into a summer job as a lifeguard, what they should do?
Yes, first of all, let me say, Tim, our lifeguarding positions are just not for our young people. I mean, we'd like to have some adults in these programs, some older teens in these programs. We have a lot of college students. If a person has good swimming skills, they can contact their local recreation center. They would advise them exactly when the classes will be running, or they can contact the aquatic section in the Division of Recreation at 664-2566. That's the Assistant Aquatics Manager's desk, Mike Ducko. We would take the information, we would direct them to the closest lifeguarding class for them. Keep in mind that if your swimming skills are marginal, we do have what we call stroke improvement courses, endurance courses to get your skills up, your strength up, to get ready for this year. Now is the time to get involved with this year. We have basically 6 months before our pools will open. In 6 months' time, we can get the marginal swimmer up to the point where they can become a lifeguard.
You know, we've talked about the lifeguards, but also when we're looking at a beginning and learn to swim, there's a parent and tot program. Tell our viewers a little bit about the parent and tot program.
Well, this program is designed for a water adjustment period for the tot ranging from 6 months to 5 years of age. Here at Estabrook Recreation Center, Mary Kersey has basically took the tots and the parents and divided them according to age and skill levels. This is, at 6 months, it's not a program that is geared to teach swimming. It's geared to get the kid adjusted to water with the parent as the kid support, also teaching the parent the safety features about being in and around water with their kids. It's an excellent program for anyone who wants to be involved with their kids in a learn to swim program. Also, it's an excellent program for the parents to learn to swim.
Okay, when we come back, we're going to meet our city champions in the breaststroke event. Welcome back to Estabrook Recreation on the near west side of Cleveland. It's the Swim Championships. We're going to introduce our city champions in the breaststroke event. The boys 8 to 10 city champion is Steven Sapolsky from Estabrook Recreation. And the 8-10 girl, Elizabeth Elsesser from Estabrook Recreation. Mike Bear, also from Estabrook, the 11 and 12 champion. The girl 11-12 champion from Stella Walsh, Jen Malika. 13-14 from Estabrook, Chris Manfredi. 13-14 girl from Stella Walsh, Holly Untites. 15-17 boy, picking up another medal, it's Matt Elsesser. And also his sister in the 15-17, Margaret Elsesser. Those are our swim champions in the breaststroke event for the city of Cleveland. Right now we have a special guest as we take a break. It's the Commissioner of Recreation, Mr. Wayne Moss.
Hey, Tim, how you doing?
Welcome, Commissioner.
Thank you.
It's January and we're getting ready to go through another year. What kind of things can we look for in the recreation field?
Well, I think 1994 is going to be an outstanding year for us. Really a year of change, and it's quite appropriate in that the mayor has been talking about, Michael White has been talking about remaking government, has been challenging all the employees in the division to rethink how they're doing business. And I think in recreation you're going to find a lot of that as well. Our girls basketball program I started a couple of weeks ago, our citywide girls program, making a real big push and commitment for it. We're involved with the indoor soccer championships, house leagues, and one thing that I'm really looking forward to, the mega and the mother of all basketball tournaments, the Greater Cleveland Basketball Championship, which is going to be sometime in March. It's going to be open to not only Cleveland rec centers, but girls and boys clubs, CMHA, YMCA, whoever thinks they've got game, come on down.
Sounds like a lot of exciting things are going to happen in recreation. Commissioner, you've been here now for a year, and there's been a lot of improvement in the recreation division. But when we look at aquatics, and we're here right here at Estabrook Recreation, and Luther and I have continually rang that bell, Estabrook Recreation Aquatic Program. Is there any mystique about it?
You know, these guys, they do a phenomenal job here at Estabrook. You know, we've got a lot of folks around the city that are doing an outstanding job, but there's something about this place. Mary Kersey and the gang here, Ed Schmidt, the rest of the staff, Jim Bezak, who's no longer with us, but has done an outstanding job with us for years. Hey, what can I say? They produce champions. They've got tremendous parental support as we look up in the rafters. The parents are here, and that's a big deal.
You know, one of the hidden secrets of Cleveland Recreation is fees. You know, I hear you every year say, well, my message is we want to get involved. But is there a cost for these programs?
Hey, this is the best part about it. It does not cost you anything to come. Utilize the swimming pools, the gymnasiums. We've got fitness equipment, Stairmasters and that kind of thing. There are aerobic classes going on, dance for girls as well as boys. There are numerous things going on, games of low organization, foosball, air hockey. I mean, there are a lot of things that are going on in our centers. It doesn't cost you a penny to come in.
So our invitation is come on in and have a great time.
There you go.
Okay, Commissioner, thanks for coming by.
Thank you, Tim.
Okay, our next event is the backstroke. Luther, what is the difference between breast and the backstroke, and what can we look forward to see?
Well, the backstroke is similar to the front crawl. The only difference is between the front crawl, which is the freestyle stroke, and the backstroke is one, you swim on the back. Basically, the technique is the same. Flutter kick, good arm extension, flip turn. You don't have to touch with two hands. You can do the flip turn or the speed turn. So this is just the front crawl or the freestyle reversed.
Okay, let's get ready for the boys 8 to 10 backstroke. In lane number 2 from Fairfax Recreation will be Kevin Williams. In lane number 3 from Clark Recreation, Jeremy Atkins. In lane number 4 from Stella Walsh, Swaya Stopkar. In lane number 5, Steve Zapolsky from Estabrook.
Tim, we had a little discrepancy with the timing in our swim off. This is the reason why we have 2 heats of this particular event. We did not want to deprive any kid from competing who rightfully is supposed to be here.
So today we're going to see 7 top finalists in this event.
Right. And of course, we cannot predict a winner of this event until the second heat is ran.
Okay, as Luther had mentioned, although in lane number 3, I believe, that came in as the winner of this heat, which was Jeremy Atkins out of Clark, we still have 3 or 4 more individuals that will be going in this event. So we will need to get the final times. So in our next heat, in the boys 8 to 10 backstroke, will be in lane number 2 from Clark Recreation. And again, we're looking at the swimmers now just start entering the water. Will be Tanner Thorne from Clark Recreation. In lane number 3 from Estabrook Recreation, Richard Wyma. In lane number 4 from Thurgood Marshall will be William Mathis. And in lane number 5 is Ramon McCrae. Again, this is boys backstroke 8 to 10.
Okay, well, Tim, take a look at this here. Take a look at the backstroke and just imagine the kid, just reverse the kid. Put him on his stomach. And what you see there is the freestyle, the American crawl. Freestyle is the wrong terminology. American crawl is what we call the crawl stroke. This is the backstroke, but it's just a reversal of the two.
Now in this heat, again, we saw William Mathis from Thurgood Marshall come in.
Got to have the best time.
As Luther has instructed our staff that we need the best time. We're looking at William Mathis out of Thurgood Marshall. He came in first in this event. Now, is he the city champion? We will find out later, but he's a 4th grade student from Alexander Bell. He also won a medal in the butterfly event in the citywide summer swim meet.
Okay, we got lane 4, the second heat, Tim.
Okay, so it was William Mathis, gentleman we just met. He's from Alexander Bell Elementary School, a 4th grade student. He also is an honor roll student at Alexander Bell. Again, Luther, we've talked about academics as well as athletic ability in aquatics. And you can see here a lot of the kids that we see here swimming are also strong in the academic field.
Yes, without a doubt, Tim, it helps for when the kids can do educational as well as recreational. Combine the two makes for a great citizen and a great individual. Our Cleveland schools do a good job with our kids also.
Okay, our next event is the girls backstroke, 8 to 10. In lane number 1 from Estabrook Recreation is Christine Hall. In lane 2 from Estabrook, Kate Farron. And in lane 3, there she is again, Elizabeth Elsesser going after her 3rd medal. In lane 4 from Stella Walsh, Jennifer Kaprowski. In lane 5 from Thurgood Marshall, Crystal Mathis. And in lane 6 from Estabrook, Jenny Noga.
Take your mark.
This is gonna be a very tight race here, Tim. You're talking one lap and you have 3 or 4 swimmers within an arm length of one another.
Well, we can see it's lane 2 and 3.
2 and 3. I believe it's lane 3. Lane 3.
Lane 3, word has come from our head timer. It's Elizabeth Elsesser, again grabbing another medal as our city champion today. She's a girls backstroke, ages 8 to 10 girl champion. There she is. She's a 3rd grade student, honor roll, and perfect attendance. And there's that chill in the air we were talking about, but I'm glad this is an indoor meet.
I believe his name, Elsesser, is going to be phenomenal with Estabrook Recreation Center. Seems like they have won everything over here today.
As we're looking at our timers, Luther, again, when we talked about the backstroke event, and you had talked about just flipping everything over, you talked about body alignment. Maybe you can tell our viewers a little bit more about the body alignment.
Well, the key to body alignment, Tim, is that you want to keep your arms and legs within a normal range of your body. You don't want your arms to be swinging wide or pulling wide. All it does is slow down the actual recovery time. And it's not good for alignment. Also, you want to keep your legs and your toes pointed towards the bottom of the food. It kind of halfway helps your buttocks to rise to the top so it doesn't sag. You know, if your legs start dragging, it's a lot of resistance, a lot of drag. You're not going to pick up any speed that way. So the alignment of your torso, your legs is important to swimming. Just like a basketball player lines a shot up with his forearm and what have you, the swimmer does the same thing.
Okay, our next event is the boys backstroke, ages 11 and 12, in lane number 1. And again, we're looking at our swimmers now entering the pool. In lane 1 from Stella Walsh is Mike Rinaldi. In lane number 2 from Estabrook, Ted Friel. In lane number 3, Mike Bear. He'll be going after his 3rd medal today. In lane 4 from Michael Zone, Matt Kurtz. In lane 5 from Estabrook, Jay Schnittiger. And in lane 6 from Stella Walsh, Jim Kaprowski. Those are our top 6 finalists in the boys backstroke, ages 11 and 12.
Backstroke event for this age group is 50 yards. It's up and back. We got to keep in mind these kids got to have enough to complete the race.
Okay, we see the kids lined up in the pool.
You get a good
starter raises his hand. That's Amzie Groves. He's been the starter of today's meet.
I think Amzie's probably been a starter for the last 5 city meets. He's been around a while. We're off to a good start. And we have the middle of the pool again, Mike Blair. Right now he's swimming in 2nd place. Beat him on the turn, Tim. It's going to come down to whoever has the stronger will or the best kick.
Right now we're looking at lane 3 and 4.
Down to the wall, 3 and 4. I don't know if he glide. Lane 3 beat him on the touch, Tim. He started gliding too soon. He started gliding, reaching for the wall. He beat him there. He didn't swim all the way into the wall.
Okay, I saw a preliminary signal come up. It was lane 3. And again, I see our head timers getting together on their times. It was that close. It was Mike Bear in lane number 3 from Estabrook and Matt Kurtz from Michael Zone. And the official word came back that it was Mike Bear from Estabrook being crowned the champion in the boys backstroke 11 and 12.
Matt Kurtz had him beat, Tim. He started reaching for the wall too soon. On that type of race, you got to swim completely to the wall. If he'd have did that, he'd have won that heat.
And again, you have talked, all day, Luther, about turns and body alignment and breathing and body position. I mean, it was definitely one of the situations here where you were talking about a turn that may have cost Matt that heat.
That's what happened.
Okay, our girls backstroke 11 and 12. In lane number 1 from Hamilton Recreation, Jameen King. In lane 2 from Michael Zone, Natasha Bosca. In lane 3 from Stella Walsh, Jennifer Malika. In lane 4 from Estabrook, Jeanette Verzi. In lane 5 from Estabrook, Rachel Boyd. And in lane 6 from Clark Recreation, Angela Atkins. Those are our top 6 finalists in the girls backstroke 11 and 12.
We're off to a good start here, Tim. And this is going to be a very, very tight race between the middle of the pool also. See, they're looking for the wall. Did you notice how she stroked and looked behind her with her head still in the water? That's the way a backstroker has to look for the wall. You can't start reaching for it. You got to look back over your shoulder to find it. That's what these flags are for, up top, backstroke flags. It basically gives a swimmer an indication how far they are from the wall. Basically, 2 strokes from that flag, you should be to the wall. Lane 3.
And again, I'm going on what Luther told me it was lane 3, but again, we're waiting on the official word.
Lane 3.
Okay, there it is, lane 3. From Stella Walsh, it was Jennifer Malika. Came through with the girls' backstroke title in the ages of 11 and 12 today. There he is, Jennifer, 7th grader from Garfield Middle School. She also swam in the 1990-91 City Winter Finals. So she's been here before.
I believe that particular year, I believe Stella Walsh won that final. So she also has the opportunity to swim on a championship team. And that means a lot when a kid has that opportunity. What is this, 94, 93 finals? 2 years, 3 years? Next year should be terrific again.
Okay, our next event is the boys backstroke 13 and 14. In lane number 1 from Stella Walsh, it's Chris Casper. In lane 2 from Stella Walsh, Anthony Rinaldi. In lane number 3 from Stella Walsh, Kevin Murphy. In lane number 4 from Estabrook, Stephen Noga. In lane number 5 from Stella Walsh, Jason Johnson. And in lane number 6 from Clark Recreation, Jose Galindez. Those are our top 6 finalists.
Right on the start. Take your mark.
We have a good start here. In the middle of the pool, as usual, we have a battle going on here. But the key to these here swim meets are to make sure you have enough to finish. You can go like the Dickens on that first lap and run out of gas, and the field will start closing on you. Lane 3.
It was lane 3, Kevin Murphy of Stella Walsh. He picks up another medal here at the City Winter Championship swim meet. Again, Kevin Murphy is a 9th grade student of Cleveland Central Catholic. There he is, Kevin. He swam here in 1990, 91, and 92, and he'll walk away again in 93 as a city champion in the boys backstroke 13 to 14. In our next event will be the girls backstroke, and before we do that, we're looking at the All-American City. Many people look at the city of Cleveland, and for 5 consecutive years we've come away with that title of All-American City, and it's a tribute to Mayor Michael R. Wade and the city staff and the work that they have done in police community relations, the education and the development of housing in the city of Cleveland. Our next event is the girls backstroke 13 and 14. In lane number 1 from Michael Zone is Sabrina Bosca. Lane 2 from Estabrook, Christy Such. Lane 3 from Michael Zone is Sarah Kurtz. In lane 4 from Stella Walsh, Stacy Sikowski. In lane 5 from Stella Walsh, Holly Untites. And in lane 6 from Cadell, Jennifer Mentzner.
Take your mark.
Good start. This is going to be a very close contested race also. These swimmers are strong. These young ladies are very strong swimmers. You can look at the pull, the kick. The one thing I don't like to see, Tim, I don't like to see these swimmers get to the wall and start slowing down. It hurts their time. These swimmers are good enough to be flipping off of this wall. We have lane 3 also. Sarah Kurtz.
Well, Sarah's been there before, and this time she comes away with the city title in the girls backstroke 13 and 14. Again, we see the moms and dads all here at the Winter Swim Championships for the city of Cleveland at Estabrook Recreation. Our girls backstroke champion, age 13 and 14, came from Michael Zone Recreation, Sarah Kurtz. She's an 8th grader at St. Ignatius Grade School, merit roll student, and she's been their most valuable player at Michael's Own for the past 3 years on the swim team.
You know, Tim, I believe when these coaches see this tape of how their swimmers are swimming into the wall, there's going to be some adjustments and some changes made in that approach. They got to learn to swim almost what we used to call through the wall. You can't get 5 feet from the wall and start slowing down and reaching for it. It just kills your time.
Okay, our next event is the boys backstroke, 15-17. In lane 1 from Estabrook, Craig Conway. In lane 2 from Clark, John Carney. In lane 3 from Estabrook, it's Matt Elsesser. In lane 4 from Stella Walsh, Joe Horstman. In lane 5 from Fairfax, Chester Jackson. And in lane 6 from Estabrook, Eric Colai. Well, it's the Matt Elsesser show. We're trying for the perfect record here.
John Carney is a few seconds off of Matt. I don't know if he has enough to overtake him, but he's only a few seconds off of him, you know. And Joe Horstman is only a few seconds off of him also. So between lanes 3, 4, and lane 2, it should be a pretty interesting race.
Well, we see here right now, lane 2 is ahead. John Carney.
That's at the 25 mark. Let's see where he's at the. Well, he's not ahead anymore. Not even at the 50. Elsesser has took over. But John is staying right with him. Oh, bad turn. Bad turn. Bad turn for Elsesser.
Well, again, Luther, as you can see that because we're talking seconds, the flip turn that you were referring to is a critical part of the aquatic program.
Flip turn is a critical part of a swimmer's entourage for what he can do. If you have a good flip, that means you can cut seconds off your time in a race like 100 that you have to turn 3 times on. You know, it doesn't do you much good in the 25 because you don't have to turn. But when you start swimming 100s, 200s, 500s, 1500s, that flip turn means all the difference in the world. The more times you turn off that wall, the better your time will get with it.
Well, it was Matt Elsesser. He's 4 for 4 in all the events that he's been in so far today. Again, he'll walk away with another title. It's in the boys backstroke, 15-17.
You know, Tim, I think our timers and our judges are a little lenient today. Matt turned over again prior to reaching this wall, and he had the kick on his stomach to get there. That's illegal. The timers and the finish judges are being very lenient today.
There he is, Matt Elsesser, our city champion in the boys backstroke, 15-17. And we have one more event after this that we'll see if he can pull that out and have a perfect day. In our final event of the backstroke, it's the girls 15-17. In lane number 1 from Kavasic Recreation, it's Miranda Mail. In lane number 2 from Stella Walsh, it's Mary Crofta. In lane number 3 from Estabrook, it's Suzanne Deck. In lane number 4 from Estabrook, it's Margaret Elsesser. In lane number 5 from Michael's Own, it's Jenny Carnes. And in lane number 6 from Cadell Recreation, it's Kimberly Lord.
We have 2 teammates from the battle one another again. Elsesser and Deck. Suzanne, your older sister, was a city champion for like 4 or 5 years in a row. So she's picking up where her sister left off. I believe her name was Bob Deck.
Again, you can see here that lane 3, Suzanne Deck, right now is out in front as they arrive at the wall.
Look how smooth she is. Look how smooth she is. She seems like it's effortless. She's actually smooth in the water. Almost to the point where her synchronized swimming is taking over instead of her speed swimming, but she's so smooth.
You know, you mentioned synchronized swimming. What is synchronized swimming, Luther?
Well, synchronized swimming is basically water ballet. That's what it is, and it's becoming very, very popular in the city. This particular recreation center has been doing synchronized swimming probably for the last 6 or 7 years that I know of. She taught the young ladies here. A couple of them became lifeguards. They took the program over to Low Pool, you know, but Deck here almost looked like she was synchronized swimming in a couple of them lanes. Her arm stroke, the recovery stage just seemed like it took so long to get back to the recovery, to the pulling stage of it. She was basically almost waving. But she had enough to win it.
Again, our official word has come through that the winner is from Estabrook Recreation, Suzanne Deck. As Luther had mentioned about the synchronized swimming, she has been part of that program here at Estabrook Recreation, as well as the water safety program skills. There's Suzanne. She's 11th grader at Brooklyn High School. There is our city champion in the girls backstroke, 15-17. You know, Luther, when we talk about learning to swim, you know, kids first starting to get into a pool situation, what kind of programs, and tell us a little bit about the basic Learn to Swim that we are offering in the city.
Okay, basically the criteria for Learn to Swim, and all of our instructors are Red Cross certified in that area for Learn to Swim and lifeguarding, what have you. The criteria don't change just a little bit. What they did was take that program and break it down into several phases. In other words, a kid can go into a Learn to Swim program. What you want to teach them are basically the prone glide, the back glide, okay? The prone glide with the kick, the back glide with the kick, and the rhythm breathing. Learn the kid how to breathe. Then the next level, you can start working on his arm strokes, putting the arm strokes with the legs, you know. But our Learn to Swim program will take that initiative and that time to work individually with these kids to get them to the point where they can swim across our pool lengthwise using the arms, the legs, and the breathing. It's a program that's set up that might take basically 6 to 7 weeks for him to progress from point A to point B, but at the end of 6 to 7 weeks, if he comes regularly on a regular basis, he should be swimming.
And the Learn to Swim program just isn't for youth, it's for adults. And again, we would like to tell our viewers, get involved, get out there and learn to swim. It's something that they actually need to learn, and it really is a water safety issue. When we come back, we're going to meet our champions in the backstroke event from today's championship meet. Well, welcome back. It's Estabrook Recreation, and as we look outside, the temperature this morning was 7 below, but we're inside with a nice heated pool at a temperature of 84 degrees, and it's the Winter Swim Championship at Estabrook Recreation on the near west side of Cleveland. At this time, we're going to meet our champions in the backstroke event. City champions in the 8 to 10. Boys 8 to 10, William Mathis from Thurgood Marshall. In the girls 8 to 10, Elizabeth Elsesser from Estabrook. And Mike Bear picks up number 3 from Estabrook Recreation, as well as Jennifer Mullica from Stella Walsh gets her 3rd medal. Also, his 2nd medal of the meet today is Keith Murphy from Stella Walsh. In the girls 13 and 14 from Michael Zone, Sarah Kurtz. And there he is again, Matt Elsesser. He's 4 for 4. And Susan Deck of Estabrook Recreation picks up her 1st medal. Those are our backstroke city champions. Luther, our next event is going to be the butterfly. Tell us a little bit about the butterfly and what the viewer should be looking for.
Well, Tim, basically the good thing about this stroke is that you got to have the technique to use the whole body. It starts from the head, and when it ends up at the feet, which they call a dolphin kick. You know, the feet should be hitting the water together. The body should be like a dolphin, waving. And the key is to have a good 2-hand touch, strong upper body to come out the water for a good reach.
Okay, there they are. They are our first event. It's the boys butterfly in the 8 to 10. And we're looking at them on the chairs. They're getting ready to go in. In lane number 1, and I know I've been butchering this poor kid's name, but I hope he forgives me, Sohail Stokoper. He's from Stella Walsh in lane number 1. From Estabrook, Stephen Zapolsky. From Estabrook, Richard Woma. From Thurgood Marshall, William Mathis. Just saw him receive his medal in the backstroke. In lane 5 from Fairfax, Kevin Williams. And in lane number 6 from Estabrook, Josh Verzai. Those are our 6 finalists, boys butterfly, 8 to 10.
Now this is the strong suit for Wyman. He loves swimming this stroke. It seemed like he got started late, but he's pulling ahead of the pack by a little bit. But he got a slow start on it. We got it, Weimer, number 3, lane 3.
Richard Weimer, he had the leading qualifying time coming into today's meet, and he carried it right into the city finals. It's Richard Weimer, the boys champion, 8 to 10 butterfly. There he is. He's from Blessed Sacrament School, an honor roll student. City champion, 8 to 10 boys butterfly, Richard Weimer.
You know, it seemed like he got started real late in the stroke with that particular race, Tim, but he was strong enough in the middle of the pool to come back with it.
Next event, girls butterfly, 8 to 10. In lane number 1 from Thurgood Marshall, Holly Woods. Lane 2 from Estabrook, Jenny Noga. In lane 3 from Estabrook, Elizabeth Elsesser. In lane 4 from Estabrook, Shannon Cox. In lane 5 from Thurgood Marshall, Crystal Mathis. In lane 6 from Estabrook, Kate Farron. Those are the top 6 finalists in the girls butterfly, 8 to 10.
Should be a pretty real strong race between Elizabeth Elsesser and Cox out of lane 3 and 4. And as I expected, lanes 3 and 4 will battle all the way into the wall. And I believe it's lane 4. We have an upset there. Elsesser did not win that one.
It was Shannon Cox. And again, Luther, we look at the qualifying times. Elizabeth Elsesser was at 23:41. Shannon Cox came in second, 23:44. But today, it was Shannon's day to win. She is the city champion, 4th grader of Albion Elementary, an honor roll student. And the coach talked about her improving and becoming an upcoming star. And today she walks away with the city title. You know, after we look at the team scoring, just to bring you up to date on team scoring, after the breaststroke, it's 2 teams battling it out. In first place with 228 points was Estabrook, and in second place from Stella Walsh with 133. So you can see, Luther, that it's still a race between Stella Walsh and Estabrook. Again, our next event is the boys butterfly, 11 and 12. As they enter the pool, it'll be in lane number 1 from Estabrook, Ted Friel. In lane number 2 from Estabrook, Jay Schnitger. In lane 3 from Estabrook, Mike Bear. In lane 4 from Michael Zone, Matt Kurtz. There they go again, Luther, Mike and Matt. And we got a Woma in there, Matt Woma in lane 5 from Estabrook. And in lane 6 from Estabrook, Mitch Bear.
I believe Mike Blair and Matt Kurtz have swum against each other in 4 different races, 1 and 2. I don't think this will be any different. Oh, both of the kids lay out real well. All the way into the wall. Good touch. Great.
You can see it's lane 3 and 4.
Good push off the wall.
Mike Bear is out in front of Matt Kurtz. Mom with those stopwatches looking on.
And mom will time this kid at every race and go back and compare his times from 2 weeks ago.
Okay, in lane 3, it was Mike Bear coming away again with another medal. And Mike is our boys butterfly city champion the age of 11 and 12. He is an 8th grade student at Central Junior High. Mike Bear from Estabrook Recreation. We've been calling his name all day today. Congratulations, Mike.
Mike is going to be a terrific swimmer. He's a terrific swimmer now at a young age. When this kid gets 14, 15 years old, he's going to be a dynamite swimmer.
Okay, our next event is girls butterfly 11 and 12. In lane number 1 from Estabrook, Rochelle Shia. In lane 2 from Clark, Angela Atkins. In lane 3 from Hamilton, Tahia Powell. In lane 4 from Stella Walsh, Jennifer Mullica. In lane 5 from Estabrook, Jeanette Verzee. And in lane 6 from Estabrook, Abby Manfreda.
Now this is going to be a contested race between lanes 3 and lanes 4. It's not that much that much difference in either one of them's time. Again, you got to have enough for the second leg coming back.
Both girls use the speed turn, as Luther had indicated earlier in the meet, and it's neck and neck.
The power girl from Alexander Hamilton seems to be pretty strong on the finish there. He's going to want it the worst. He's going to want it the baddest. It's going to be down to the wire there, Tim. I believe it's lane 4. By a half of a touch, maybe a fingertip.
Okay, I saw there it was lane 4. Again, it comes from our head timer. It was Jennifer Mullica from Stella Walsh. Powell got itched out here at the very end. Jennifer Mullica is a 7th grader at Garfield Middle School and an honor roll student. And again, we've called her name before as a city champion. Our next event is the boys butterfly, ages 13 and 14. In lane number 1 from Estabrook, Chris Manfreda. In lane 2 from Stella Walsh, Chris Casper. In lane 3 from Clark, it's Mike Belton. In lane 4 from Stella Walsh, it's Anthony Rinaldi. In lane 5 from Fairfax, it's Carl Smith. In lane 6 from Stella Walsh, it's Jason Johnson. Those are our top 6 finalists in the boys butterfly, 13 and 14.
Tim, this should be a pretty close race. These qualifying times are real close.
Well, we're looking at Mike Belton out of Clark.
And this is the kid that was DQ'd in the last race. He needs to make up for this.
Nice speed turn. You can see he's looking real strong, Luther.
You're right. He looks real strong. I guess he says he's going to win him a gold medal today. He was DQ'd in the breaststroke event for 2 false starts. So he's making up for it now. This is for you, John Payton. That's that power stroke you were talking about.
There you go. Mike Belton comes out of Clark Recreation, and he'll be crowned their city champion. Again, Mike was DQ'd in the first event, but he came back here in the end, and he walks away with the city title in the boys butterfly. Mike's an 8th grade student at Thomas Jefferson Junior High, and the coach had told us before the event that he is a power swimmer with raw talent, and he showed it right there in the butterfly event.
I believe Joe Hooven has been working with this kid over there at Clark. A little bit more work with this kid, smooth him out a little bit, get away from so much of him struggling but smoother. He'll be a hell of a swimmer.
Okay, we're in the girls butterfly 13 and 14. In lane number 1 from Cadell, Jennifer Metzner. In lane 2 from Estabrook, Christy Such. Lane 3 from Michael Zone, Sarah Kurtz. In lane 4 from Stella Walsh, Stacy Sikowski. In lane 5 from Stella Walsh, Holly Utites. And in lane 6 from Michael Zone, Sabrina Bosco. Girls butterfly, 13 and 14.
If this thing holds true to form, Tim, Sarah Kurtz should run away with this event. No times are even close to her. Oh, there she go. Yes, look at her. No wasted motion there, Tim. None. No wasted motion. Excellent.
Sarah Kurtz, the 8th grader out of St. Ignatius, is coming in, looking to be our city champion in the girls butterfly.
Ran away with it.
Outstanding. Sarah Kurtz, girls butterfly, city champion, 13 and 14. We've mentioned her name all day, Luther. Most valuable player in Michael's own swim team, merit role at St. Ignatius Elementary, an 8th grade student.
Again, this is the young lady the swim team coach said we better keep our eye on. He knows what she can do, and she hasn't proven him wrong today. She's an excellent swimmer.
Again, congratulations goes out to Sarah Kurtz, our girls champion in the butterfly, 13 and 14. Our next event is in the boys butterfly, ages 15 to 17. In lane number 1 from Estabrook is Eric Colai. In lane 2 from Fairfax, Chester Jackson. In lane 3, he'll go for the perfect record. It'll be Matt Elsesser from Estabrook. In lane 4 from Hamilton, Desmond White. And in lane 5 from Estabrook, Craig Conway. And in lane 6 from Clark Recreation, John Carney. Those are the top 6 finalists in the boys butterfly, 15 to 17.
Seems like Matt has a comfortable lead in time out of the swim off, so I really feel that he probably will repeat again for his 4th medal. I was talking with Matt earlier. I said, what are you trying to do, win 7 like Mark Spitz? He said, if we were swimming 7 races, he would have 7.
Well, we look at Matt Elsesser. It's definitely been his day here at Estabrook Recreation as he walks away with his 5th consecutive title in the boys butterfly. Matt Elsesser, boys 15 to 17, is our city champion in the butterfly event.
The kid is an excellent swimmer. I really do not understand how come he is not swimming on some high school swim team, Tim. He's an excellent swimmer.
Well, there'll be some high school coaches looking at this tape. I'm sure they'll be ringing the phone over here.
Not only for Matt Elsesser, but the whole Elsesser family.
There's Matt Elsesser. He's had a great day. The honor roll student and the leader of their swim team has done it by example. Congratulations, Matt. Our final event in the butterfly is the girls 15 to 17. In lane number 1 from Stella Walsh, it's Mary Crofta. In lane 2 from Estabrook, it's Margaret Elsesser. In lane 3 from Estabrook, Suzanne Deck. In lane 4 from Michael's own, Jenny Carnes. In lane 5 from Stella Walsh, Vanessa Leonard. And in lane 6 from Cadell, Kimberly Lord.
You know, we look at this heat. Jenny Carnes and Decker has a very tough race to swim to beat this young lady. Both of these young ladies have excellent times. The times are real close. And they're swimming pretty close. Into the wall, I believe it's Suzanne Deck. Jenny Carnes has won it though. Lane 4.
It was lane 4, Jenny Carnes. Again, you saw that she came in strong. She picks up her first title of today's meet. She's from Michael Zone Recreation Center. Again, Luther had indicated it was going to be close, and it was a matter of 0.3 of a second in qualifying times. But today it was Jenny Carnes who came forward with the city title. She's a 9th grade student at Collinwood High School, Honor Roll and National Honor Society. Jenny plans to work as a lifeguard, Luther, for the city this summer.
I'm glad to have her. She's an excellent swimmer. I'm pretty sure she'll do a fine job for us.
Luther, we had talked about a lot of programs that the aquatics are offering. One of them that I'm really kind of interested in a little bit of information is arthritic exercise. Tell our viewers about the arthritic exercise program.
Well, our arthritic exercise program is basically ran out of Cadero Recreation Center. Our instructor, Joyce Alameda, has a national certification from the Arthritic Foundation to teach this course. The course is designed basically for seniors and for those individuals who have problems with their muscles or with their joints. It's not a high intense exercise like you would have in a water aerobics class. It's more slow, gentle type movement that focus on the joints of the body. This class is ran, I think, twice a week over at Estabrook Recreation Center, and I encourage any senior who's having some arthritic problem, you'd be surprised with that water is therapeutic, and it will do an excellent job for those individuals.
Okay, when we come back, we're going to meet the city champions of the Butterfly event here from Estabrook Recreation Center. Welcome back to the Winter Swim Meet Championships for the City of Cleveland. We're going to get to meet now the Butterfly City Champions. In the 8 to 10 age group for the boys, from Estabrook Recreation, it's Richard Wyma. For the girls, it is Shannon Cox from Estabrook. In the 11 and 12, Mike Bear picks up medal number 4. Jennifer Mulligan from Stella Walsh picks up medal number 3. And from Clark, Mike Belton will walk back with the city title in the 13-14. Sarah Kurtz from Michael Zone in the 13-14 girls. And Matt Elsesser has had a perfect day from Estabrook Recreation with his 5th medal. And Jenny Carnes picks up her first medal, and she'll go back to Zone Recreation as our city champion. That is the city champions of the girls and boys butterfly event here at Estabrook Recreation Center. Luther, our final event is going to be the relays. Crescendo relay teams will be doing the boys first. And I think is there any things we need to tell our viewers before we do the relays?
Yes, basically each swimmer will be responsible for swimming 50 yards. So that means the 8 to 10 year old who normally swims 25 yards have to swim 50 on this relay team. The thing to keep in mind is that the swimmer cannot leave until the swimmer in the water touches the wall. If he does, he's disqualifies the whole team. Also, the swimmers can swim in any order. That means a 10-year-old might be swimming against a 15-year-older. So the age bracket doesn't make a difference. The teams can swim in any order, just as long as you have one swimmer out of each age bracket.
Okay, we're getting ready for the boys freestyle event. Again, there'll be 4 swimmers. 1 in each age group, 8 to 10, 11 and 12, 13 and 14, 15 and 17. They can swim in any order. They'll be using both lengths. In lane 2 will be from Michael Zone. Lane 3 will be Estabrook. Lane 4 is Stella Walsh. Lane 5 are from Clark Recreation. And in lane 6 is Fairfax Recreation. Those are the top boys crescendo relay teams.
I think in lane 610 we have the team from Alexander Hamilton.
Okay. Again, we're looking at the swimmers using the freestyle stroke.
And we see our 8 to 10 who's bringing up the rear in this particular race. What that means on the backside, their 8 to 10 will have to swim against maybe a 13 or 14 or a 15 or 17 kid. So the distance he's lost here, they're probably at number 3 and 4 swimmers to make that difference up.
Well, Luther, you've been in the aquatic program a long time. You're a coach. Which way do you line them up?
I would take my best swimmer. My best 2 swimmers will swim in the 2nd and 4th spot.
Okay. We're at Estabrook Recreation in our final event. It's the crescendo relay teams. We're looking at the boys. And it's pretty hard to tell who's out in front right now because of the age group differences. But right now, as we look, it looks like lane number 3 from Estabrook, and in lane number 5, it's Clark. They seem to be battling it out.
See, that's what Estabrook has did. Estabrook has took their 2 top swimmers and put them in the 3rd and 4th slot. Now, whoever swims that has to go against, guess who?
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. And I'm looking at Estabrook, and I see Mr. Elsesser standing up there ready to go.
It's over.
You surely don't want to be behind with him coming in.
No. No. See, the race in this heat is for 2nd place, and right now Hamilton has moved into the 2nd place slot.
Okay, we can see the excitement is high, but it was lane number 3, Estabrook Recreation, who has proved to be the power here today at the Winter Swim Meet Championships.
It was surprising to me to see the team from Alexander Hamilton beat out the relay team from Stella Walsh. Now that was a shocker.
And again, Luther, as you look at all the centers in the aquatic program, as you had mentioned earlier, there's been an improvement in all our rec centers to try to bring these swim teams up to that level. And it also starts with many of the programs that we've talked about. Our next event is going to be the girls. They're going to get their chance to put on their crescendo relay teams. And as they line up, in lane number 2, it will be Stella Walsh. In lane number 3, it will be Estabrook. And in lane number 4, it will be Estabrook number 1. Now, does that mean that Estabrook 1 is the stronger team, or we just have 2 teams that qualify?
We just have 2 teams that qualify.
Okay, where's Elsesser, and we know which one's the strong ones?
Let's see. I believe she's in lane number 2.
Again, the same rules will apply for the girls?
Same rules apply for the girls. Due to the cold weather, Tim, we really should have had 5 girls relay teams. Due to the cold weather, we had a couple kids who did not make it, so that means the other 3 cannot swim.
Okay, girls crescendo relays.
And you happen to mention where's Elsesser at, and that's where she's at. She's swimming out of lane number 2 with the Estabrook team.
Now you're looking at the girls crescendo relay teams at Estabrook Recreation. This is the final event of the 1993-94 Swim Championships. And the 2 leaders right now are in lane 2, it is Stella Walsh. And in lane 4, it's Estabrook.
You know, these 2 teams, Tim, both Estabrook teams are battling one another.
You can see the enthusiasm, the excitement. It's the Winter Swim Championships at Estabrook Recreation. going to walk away with the top girls relay team in the city of Cleveland, and they're neck and neck. In lane 2, the top of your screen, they're from Stella Walsh, and in lane 4, it's Estabrook.
And it's a fight down to the wall. It's a fight to the wall. Lane 2.
In lane 2.
Stella Walsh.
It was Stella Walsh. What a tremendous, tremendous event. The crescendo relay teams getting the best swimmers on your team to come together for the chance to be walking away as the relay champions. Well, we're going to take a break at this time, and when we come back, we are going to meet the champion relay teams, as well as we will be choosing the outstanding swimmers, boys and girls, and we're going to meet the winning coach and the center manager from that recreation center. Well, welcome back to Estabrook Recreation. It was the Winter Swim Championships, and it turned out to be an Estabrook day, as they are the swim champions of the 1993-94 Winter Swim Meet. At this time, we first of all want to send congratulations to the relay teams that won. The boys, Estabrook, and the girls from Stella Walsh were our relay champions. And at this time, I'm going to go to my partner, Luther Demery, as he is with the outstanding boy and girl swimmer of today's meet.
So we're here with both Jenny Mulligan, the girls, outstanding swimmer from Stella Walsh Recreation Center. Jenny, why don't you give us a little background on what you hope to accomplish from here?
I want to go to the Olympics.
You want to go to the Olympics
Yeah.
as a swimmer?
Yeah.
Well, today, Jenny, if you perform like you performed today, I expect to see you in the Olympics. Congratulations to you. And here with me is Matt Elsesser, the team captain from Estabrook Recreation Center. Matt could not swim during the summer. He's a summer lifeguard, but he made up for it during the winter swim meet. Congratulations to you, Matt. And what do you hope to accomplish from here, Matt?
I hope to maybe swim in college if I get a chance.
Well, Matt, I believe the college will be glad to have you as a swimmer. You're an excellent swimmer. You had an outstanding swim meet. Congratulations. Well-deserved reward. And now back to Tim Wells, my partner, to introduce the winning coach and the center manager. Tim?
Well, as we mentioned, it was an Estabrook day at an Estabrook meet, it seems, but this has been a familiar scene for Mary Kersey, the coach of Estabrook Recreation. First of all, Coach, we want to present you with the plaque.
Thank you.
As you are the city champions of the winter 1993-94 meet.
Thank you very much.
First of all, tell us a little bit about your team and the Estabrook program here at Estabrook Recreation Center.
Okay, all of our kids are from our Learn to Swim program and have worked their way up from peewees, which are 4, 5, and 6-year-olds, all the way up to age of 17 years of age. They all work very hard, and that's the key to our team, is our teamwork with our kids and here at Estabrook.
You know, Mary, we know, and Luther has mentioned the hard work that the kids have shown, and it has to be a reflection on you, the time and the effort that you have put in. And we've talked about a lot of the programs today, not just Learn to Swim, but arthritic exercise, parent and taught Learn to Swim. All those are part of the Estabrook program. Is that correct?
Exactly.
Well, listen, congratulations on an outstanding season, and I know we'll probably look forward to seeing you in the summer.
I hope so.
Well, let's have a chat with your boss, the Recreation Center manager at Estabrook, and you've been around, Ed. You started out when you were as a summer lifeguard, and you became into the position of physical director here at Estabrook. How does it feel to come back with the champions?
Well, it's good to see it stay here at Estabrook. It has been for the past few years. I hope to see it stay here for the next few years.
You know, you really are one of the center managers in the city that has the aquatic background and the interest. I mean, where do you see the aquatics program with the city of Cleveland as far as kids now that, I mean, really when we look at Estabrook, it is one of the top aquatic programs in the city. And I know that you have to be the driving force that encourages Mary to do an outstanding job and to keep everything focused. What are some of those keys that you've kind of pushed for?
Well, I think any good swim team like Estabrook has here at Estabrook, you have to start at a good Learn to Swim program. Infant and toddlers, parents, I encourage them all to get their kids in at a young age, 6 months old. Kids start swimming at 6 months. Someday he could be the next champion here at Estabrook.
Well, Estabrook has definitely had one of the outstanding swim teams, and when you look at a leader, we've heard about Matt Elsesser, and he's been the leader of the team. Can you tell us a little bit about Matt?
Yeah, Matt has also been a summer guard here at Estabrook, and a lot of the kids look up to their peers, their older peers, and he's definitely one to look up to. He's eventually going to be a starting worker here at Estabrook, hopefully maybe even a full-time worker like Mary.
Well, Ed, thanks for coming by. Okay, Luther, we've had a great day. It's been the 1993-94 swim meet, and we'd be remiss if we didn't come back and thank our CLV TV crew, Mr. Henry Pecterna, Dan Sevick, Dennis Knowles, Johnny Bond, Mary Magnan, and the ones that I may have forgot. We show our deep appreciation for the great shots that you have given. It's been the Winter Swim Championships, and Luther, a final thought?
Yes, my final thought, Tim, is for the parents who view this tape to see what can be accomplished in the aquatics area when you look at a recreation center like the Estabrook Recreation Center. Our kids have a golden opportunity in this city. We have 17 indoor swimming pools. Most major cities don't have this here. So we have a golden opportunity to do some things in aquatics. Let's take advantage of it.
And again, Luther, if someone wants to get into those programs, give them a number that they can call.
Right, they can call 664-2566 or 664-3018.
Again, our congratulations to Estabrook Recreation as they have been crowned the city champions. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
We hope you enjoyed today's game. Make sure you head over to our YouTube channel, TV20 Cleveland, and subscribe to get the latest videos. I'm Christian Patterson. Thanks for watching TV20 Classic Sports.